Do you feel at peace with the world? Do you feel at peace with the world? I feel totally bored today. I feel totally bored today. Kelly looked confused at what to do. Kelly looked confused at what to do. The killer had a crazed look upon his face. The killer had a crazed look upon his face. George was curious to know the answer. George was curious to know the answer. Stop your daydreaming and get to work. Stop your daydreaming and get to work. Raymond was eager to play tennis. Raymond was eager to play tennis. I'm not interested in hearing about his life. I'm not interested in hearing about his life. Robert was jealous of his older brother. Robert was jealous of his older brother. Don't be nervous, it will be all right. Don't be nervous, it will be all right. I think Fred is a very peaceful person. I think Fred is a very peaceful person. I feel so relaxed after taking a shower. I feel so relaxed after taking a shower. Oscar seems satisfied with his life. Oscar seems satisfied with his life. Don't look so scared. Don't look so scared. Were you surprised Jack married Susan? Were you surprised Jack married Susan? I can't tell you how shocked I was. I can't tell you how shocked I was. I went to bed late last night, so now I'm quite sleepy. I went to bed late last night, so now I'm quite sleepy. I feel so tired that I'm going to bed. I feel so tired that I'm going to bed. Jane has a worried-looking face. Jane has a worried-looking face. Ben was amused by her comments. Ben was amused by her comments. I felt so ashamed after I lied. I felt so ashamed after I lied. Norman is a bashful boy. Norman is a bashful boy. He cocked his head to hear what they were saying. He cocked his head to hear what they were saying. You seem content in your job. You seem content in your job. Michael craned his neck to see out the window. Michael craned his neck to see out the window. He appeared determined to win. He appeared determined to win. You seemed distracted during the meeting. You seemed distracted during the meeting. Tom felt so drowsy he could hardly keep his eyes open. Tom felt so drowsy he could hardly keep his eyes open. Mary was too embarrassed to ask a question. Mary was too embarrassed to ask a question. Many people were envious of his success. Many people were envious of his success. Jerry had a strange expression on his face. Jerry had a strange expression on his face. You seem preoccupied. What's the matter? You seem preoccupied. What's the matter? Betty has a habit of pursing her lips. Betty has a habit of pursing her lips. I was stunned by his decision. I was stunned by his decision. Lori is suspicious of her husband. Lori is suspicious of her husband. I'm skeptical of whatever he says. I'm skeptical of whatever he says. It's rude to stick your tongue out at people. It's rude to stick your tongue out at people. Some people drink alcohol when they are tense. Some people drink alcohol when they are tense. John's words seemed very threatening. John's words seemed very threatening. Gary looks like a thoughtful person. Gary looks like a thoughtful person. Ian looked uninterested in what I was saying. Ian looked uninterested in what I was saying. Man, I feel worn out. Man, I feel worn out. I'm bewildered by this problem. I'm bewildered by this problem. The injured man was delirious from the pain. The injured man was delirious from the pain. Peter was flabbergasted by Bill's remark. Peter was flabbergasted by Bill's remark. The soldiers grimaced when they heard the bad news. The soldiers grimaced when they heard the bad news. Mike acts nonchalant no matter what happens. Mike acts nonchalant no matter what happens. Jack had a quizzical expression on his face. Jack had a quizzical expression on his face. He always looks tranquil to me. He always looks tranquil to me. Vicky is wistful at times. Vicky is wistful at times. Paul winced when he got hit. Paul winced when he got hit. I was surprised when I saw Walter's weary appearance. I was surprised when I saw Walter's weary appearance. Do all radio DJs have a big ego? Do all radio DJs have a big ego? The brave soldier was killed in the battle. The brave soldier was killed in the battle. Pay attention and don't be so careless. Pay attention and don't be so careless. Bart always seems so cheerful at work. Bart always seems so cheerful at work. Laura is a clever student who gets good grades. Laura is a clever student who gets good grades. I'm confident I will win the game. I'm confident I will win the game. My grandmother is too conservative. My grandmother is too conservative. Artists must be creative to do their work. Artists must be creative to do their work. My mother-in-law is so dull, all she does is watch TV. My mother-in-law is so dull, all she does is watch TV. People like others who are friendly. People like others who are friendly. I like Brent because he's so funny. I like Brent because he's so funny. It's important to be hardworking. It's important to be hardworking. If you are honest, people will respect you. If you are honest, people will respect you. People appreciate it when you are kind to them. People appreciate it when you are kind to them. My cousin is the laziest person in the world. My cousin is the laziest person in the world. Renee is really a loyal friend. Renee is really a loyal friend. Kicking that dog was a mean thing to do. Kicking that dog was a mean thing to do. My mother taught me to be modest. My mother taught me to be modest. He's a moody man with a bad temper. He's a moody man with a bad temper. Children are more naive than adults. Children are more naive than adults. Hey, don't be so nosy. Hey, don't be so nosy. Jenny's an outgoing person who likes to meet new people. Jenny's an outgoing person who likes to meet new people. You should always be polite to your elders. You should always be polite to your elders. The quiet boy only had a few friends. The quiet boy only had a few friends. You should apologize for being so rude to that man. You should apologize for being so rude to that man. Children are often selfish and don't want to share their toys. Children are often selfish and don't want to share their toys. The shy girl never got any dates. The shy girl never got any dates. You are so smart. You are so smart. What a stingy guy. What a stingy guy. It's not nice to call people stupid. It's not nice to call people stupid. Girls are more talkative than boys. Girls are more talkative than boys. I don't like aggressive salesmen. I don't like aggressive salesmen. Ambitious people tend to be successful. Ambitious people tend to be successful. Many people say the French are arrogant. Many people say the French are arrogant. I wish I could be as carefree as Cindy. I wish I could be as carefree as Cindy. My father is a very cautious man. My father is a very cautious man. The lawyer is competitive in everything he does. The lawyer is competitive in everything he does. That was a cowardly thing to do. That was a cowardly thing to do. The old man's cynical attitude made him unpopular. The old man's cynical attitude made him unpopular. My best friend is the most dependable person I know. My best friend is the most dependable person I know. You need to be diligent to succeed. You need to be diligent to succeed. Ken is a dynamic speaker. Ken is a dynamic speaker. Despite being 75 years old, the man seemed energetic. Despite being 75 years old, the man seemed energetic. I'm not enthusiastic about doing the assignment. I'm not enthusiastic about doing the assignment. My girlfriend is a great, fun-loving girl. My girlfriend is a great, fun-loving girl. My brother is a kind and generous man. My brother is a kind and generous man. Chinese people are more humble than Westerners. Chinese people are more humble than Westerners. She liked him because he was a humorous guy. She liked him because he was a humorous guy. I was very idealistic when I was a student. I was very idealistic when I was a student. The writer's last book was quite imaginative. The writer's last book was quite imaginative. My sister only dates intelligent men. My sister only dates intelligent men. Some people think I'm too liberal. Some people think I'm too liberal. That was a logical thing to do. That was a logical thing to do. The miserly man wouldn't even donate $1. The miserly man wouldn't even donate $1. Karen is quite an optimistic person. Karen is quite an optimistic person. I prefer to be with open-minded people. I prefer to be with open-minded people. Larry's pessimistic attitude really bothers me. Larry's pessimistic attitude really bothers me. Jamie is a pleasant girl. Jamie is a pleasant girl. I always try to make rational decisions. I always try to make rational decisions. If you are reckless, you will have an accident. If you are reckless, you will have an accident. Paul is a reliable worker who always does his work well. Paul is a reliable worker who always does his work well. A responsible parent takes good care of his or her child. A responsible parent takes good care of his or her child. Sally isn't very sensible sometimes. Sally isn't very sensible sometimes. Maria is so sensitive that she cries easily. Maria is so sensitive that she cries easily. Everyone knew his comments were sincere. Everyone knew his comments were sincere. Sloppy people don't make a good impression. Sloppy people don't make a good impression. That was a really sneaky thing to do. That was a really sneaky thing to do. I wish I were more sociable and knew more people. I wish I were more sociable and knew more people. I like Helen because she's so spontaneous. I like Helen because she's so spontaneous. Try and not bother Al. He's very stressed right now. Try and not bother Al. He's very stressed right now. It's difficult to get a strong-willed person to change his opinion. It's difficult to get a strong-willed person to change his opinion. Stubborn people don't often change their minds. Stubborn people don't often change their minds. Lance is a neat and tidy person. Lance is a neat and tidy person. Luckily, my boss is very understanding. Luckily, my boss is very understanding. He is an unkind and unpleasant young man. He is an unkind and unpleasant young man. How did you get to be so wise? How did you get to be so wise? Steve is an adventurous person who takes many risks. Steve is an adventurous person who takes many risks. Scientists need to be quite analytical. Scientists need to be quite analytical. The president is a charismatic speaker. The president is a charismatic speaker. Kathy is chatty even for a girl. Kathy is chatty even for a girl. People with a chip on their shoulder get mad easily. People with a chip on their shoulder get mad easily. No one likes people who are egotistical. No one likes people who are egotistical. My sister is a popular extroverted woman. My sister is a popular extroverted woman. Tim is a flaky guy who always changes his mind. Tim is a flaky guy who always changes his mind. My parents are very frugal people. My parents are very frugal people. Cheer up, don't be so grumpy. Cheer up, don't be so grumpy. Jennifer doesn't have many friends because she's introverted. Jennifer doesn't have many friends because she's introverted. Impulsive shoppers spend a lot of money. Impulsive shoppers spend a lot of money. Don't be so indecisive. Make up your mind. Don't be so indecisive. Make up your mind. I hate people who are too materialistic. I hate people who are too materialistic. He seems friendly but a bit reserved. He seems friendly but a bit reserved. Glenn really seems like a self-assured person. Glenn really seems like a self-assured person. Do you know why she's being so secretive? Do you know why she's being so secretive? Ted is a solitary man with no real friends. Ted is a solitary man with no real friends. I'm not very tolerant of people who break the law. I'm not very tolerant of people who break the law. Unsociable people don't like to meet new people. Unsociable people don't like to meet new people. Vain people love to talk about themselves. Vain people love to talk about themselves.